Hello my friends, to another episode of me talking. Today I want to do a PSA type thing, an announcement, a plea, a statement, whatever you want to call it. A message to all classic players, but especially hunters. Let me start off by saying that this beautiful game that we've been enjoying is built upon relationships. Upon everyday interactions we have amongst each other, upon the conversations and the dungeon pulls. It is a world of nuance where the main premise should be one player's time is not more valuable than the other's. You might think that that's all fine and good, but what does this have to do with hunters? Well, let me put it this way. Those among us who are greedy and superficial emit the attitude that indeed their time is more worth than others. And that is just no bueno. Some people just can't help themselves. They see an epic and boy they want it so bad. But others are simply uneducated. And nobody took the time to explain that some gear is just not for you, even though it might look the part. So let me state it plain as day. Certain specific items are way better off in the hands of other classes, even though they might have stats for your class/spec too. A big disparity arises between hunters on one side and on the other Fury Warriors and Rogues. Fury Warriors have a very hard time reaching their hit cap. The dual wield hit cap is 27%. That is the number when none of your white damage attacks miss. All of this I'm saying in the context of a raid boss, just to be clear. That number is impossible to reach. However, it is wise to aim for it. Rogues have a slightly easier time of getting up there with the hit. Unlike warriors, rogues do get 5% hit from talent points. And on the other hand, hunters only need 9% hit, and at 9% not one of their attacks will miss. Also, hunters have the luxury of getting 3% hit from their talents. Now what I'm getting at is that as a hunter, you have many item pieces that only suit you and provide hit. So your hit cap is very easy to reach, and I would implore you to consider passing up certain items to your rogue and warrior friends. And before I get into the specific items, let me just state something about healers and casters. Just because a piece of cloth says it improves extra damage and healing done with spells, doesn't mean it's really healing gear. There are other pieces that only improve healing done and lack the damage part, but often with increased numbers. So if you rob your mage of his item, not only are you gimping him, but also yourself. And for this video, I will mostly stick to hunters. Speaking as a hunter myself, starting with some obvious pre-raid bits. Hand of Justice. Zahando. This trinket is one of the craziest and best trinkets in the whole game. The power spike of this thing is insane. An extra swing to your weapon? Your own pocket Wind Fury. And to think that this is on a hunter bis list. Why? Because it gives some attack power. Hunters, I'm telling you, this is not a hunter item and it's clear as day. If you get this, you will be the scum of the server and people in your group will never forgive you for it. This thing never drops and rogues and warriors spend days trying to get just this one trinket for its special text. And what do you get from it? A little bit of attack power. Yuck. Moving on to the Dalren swords. Another wet dream for sword rogues and fury warriors alike. And again, on so many hunter bis lists. Now these do give you a burst of attack power, but considering it is only that, and considering how rare these are, I think hunters shouldn't really get these. not only do you need both to get the attack power, but also you can't even put agility and chance on them. Forget about these and just go for the Peacekeeper or the Barbarous Blade. You even have the option of choosing the Warmonger and getting 3% hit. And to believe Hunter itemization is not easy. Now about gear in the Molten Core. Striker's Mark is a bow that should by most guilds be reserved for warriors and rogues only. If it is not, you should consider leaving your guild immediately. This weapon is best in slot for our melee friends for a very long time. Some of those melee friends won't ever replace it, and it should chill your spine just to imagine this in the hands of a hunter. Hunters get an item called the Ancient Petrified Leaf, which leads them on a quest to get Rogdalar. The leaf drops 50% of the time from Major Domo, and in a couple of months every hunter in the guild will have it. Oh, and by the way, Rogdalar is so much better than Striker's Mark for a hunter. So Striker's Mark is not for you. Band of Acuria is another item that is on almost every hunter biz list I see out there. However, looking at its stats, it's plain to see that it is just too much hit for a hunter. Yes, you heard me. For hunters, it is too much. We don't need it. In fact, I would also leave the guild that doesn't have this item reserved for the rogues and fury warriors. Why? Well, you guessed it. It's another one that is never coming off. Maybe in Naxxramas, but hardly even then. Band of Acuria is not for you, hunter. Moving on to Quickstrike Ring. And I guess with the tone of this video, you might be already pulling your hair out thinking, what's up with this guy? Where do I get my rings? Well, don't pull it all out just yet. This ring is actually perfectly alright for your greedy little hunter hands to get on. Yes, this one is on the table, so relax. If you got this far and you're wondering, but why can I get Band of Acuria and Striker's Mark? I want my epic. Wonder no more, because certain items are just not for you. And if you want all the items to be for you, then you should have considered rolling as a druid. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and share if you please would, and happy hunting. Stinkfist out.